Assalamu alaikum. Density of object. What do you mean by density of object? Let us we see.
Density is how heavier a material is. Here we have two materials, but this material is heavier than this. We can check by using the balance. This is the first material. Its mass is 145.14 gram. This material of the same volume, it's 44.66 gram. Both materials have the same volume, but one of them is heavier than the other. Density is how heavy a material is. Density is the mass over volume.
Density is a property of material. It tells us how concentrated its mass is. In everyday speech, we might say that lead is heavier than wood if they have the same volume. So one of them is heavier than the other. Density is mass per unit volume. This is the definition of density. When in the exam said define the density, we say the density is mass per unit volume. What is the relation, the mathematical relation? Density denoted by rho. This symbol is called rho. Okay? It is the mass divided by the volume. What is the unit of density? It depends on the unit of mass and the volume. If the mass is measured in gram and the volume in centimeter cubed, we say the unit of density is gram per centimeter cubed. If the mass in kilogram and the volume in meter cubed, we say the density it's in kilogram per meter cubed. This triangle is very useful for us, from which we can get the mass density or volume. To determine the density of an object, we do experiment. We have two types of objects, regular and irregular objects. Let us we see the next experiment.
Density of regular object. Here we have regular object, it's a cube. They have the same volume. Now we calculate the volume. How to calculate the volume of regular object? By finding the measure of the side length. So by using the ruler, we measure the side length here. So the side length of this cube is 2.5 centimeter. So the volume of this cube is 2.5 cubed, 15.625 centimeter cubed. So this is the volume of this object. This object is the same. It is side length is 2.5. They have the same volume. The volume is 15.625 centimeter cubed. What is the mass of each? We use the digital balance to get the mass. We adjust it to 0 and then we find the mass of the first material. It's 145.14. So the mass of the first material, 145.14 gram. So what is the density of this material? The density is the mass divided by the volume. So it's 145.14 divided by 15.625. So the answer is 9.28 or 9.29. So the density of the first material denoted by rho, it's 9.3 gram per centimeter cubed. So the density of this material is 9.3 gram per centimeter cubed. What about the second material? Already it has the same volume, 15.625 centimeter cubed. What is its mass we put on the balance. Now, the mass of this material here, the mass of the second material is 44.66 gram. What is the density of this material? The density is the mass per unit volume. So the mass is here 44.66 divided by 15.625. The second one, the second material, its density is 2.85. It's 2.9. So the density of the second material is 2.9 gram per centimeter cube. This is an irregular object. How can we get its density? First, we find its mass by using the balance. So we put here. So the mass of this irregular object is 9.14 gram. 9.14 gram. This is the mass of this irregular object. We need to get its volume. To get the volume, we use measuring cylinder. We add water to the measuring cylinder. We measure the volume at the bottom of meniscus, which is 25 milliliter. So the volume of the water before to put the object is 25 milliliter. Now we tie the object with a string and gently we put it inside the measuring cylinder. And then we find the new volume. Now, the new volume here, the second volume, is 29 milliliter. So 29 milliliter. The difference between the two volumes, 29 minus 25, it's 4 milliliter. 1 milliliter equals 1 centimeter cubed. So the volume of that irregular object is 4 centimeter cubed. Now, what is the density? What is the density of that irregular? The density is the mass per unit volume. The mass is 9.14 divided by the volume, which is 4. So the density of that object is 2.289 gram per centimeter cubed. Now we solve past paper questions about this topic. Look at question number 1. A student wishes to determine the density of an irregular shaped stone. First, he finds the mass of the stone. Next, he lowers the stone into measuring cylinder containing water. The diagram shows the measuring cylinder before and after stone is lowered into it. How should the student calculate the density? The density equals the mass per unit volume. What is the volume? The volume is the difference between the two readings. So it is reading 2 minus reading 1. So now which one is correct? Now let us see. Mass of stone multiply reading 2? No, this is not density. Mass of stone multiply reading 2 multiply reading 2 minus? No. Mass of stone divided by? No. Mass of stone divided by? Yes. Yeah, because this is the volume. It's reading 2 minus reading 1. So this is the correct answer. Now, next question. The diagram shows cuboid. Look, its density. So we have here rho. Rho equals 2.5 gram per centimeter cubed. What is the mass? To get the mass, we need the volume. The volume of cuboid is length times width times height. Now we calculate the volume by using the calculator. The length is 2. The length is 2. Multiply the width, which is 10. Multiply the height, which is 2. So the volume is 40.
40 what centimeter cubed. What is the formula that join mass, volume, and density? Remember, rho is the mass per unit volume. What do we need? We need the mass. So the mass equals rho multiply V. Rho, it's 2.5 gram per centimeter cubed, and the volume is 40 centimeter cubed. So the answer is 100. 100 what? Gram. So this is the correct answer. Now, a student wishes to determine the density of a solid block. Which quantities must be known? Oh, we need the mass and the volume. The volume is the length multiply width multiply height, or the cross-section area multiply height. Now, the area of the shaded face and the volume? No. The area of the shaded face and the weight? No. The mass of the block and the height? No. The mass of the block and the volume? Yes. So this is correct. We need the mass and the volume. A measuring cylinder of mass 120 gram. This is the mass of measuring cylinder when it's empty. So this is when it's empty. Now, when it contains, now we add inside it, we add contains liquid. So 50 centimeter cube, this is the volume of liquid, which is 50 centimeter cube. Now, what is the mass of that liquid? The total mass of measuring cylinder and the liquid is 160 gram. So this is before, it's 120 gram, and this is after. So the difference is the mass of the liquid. So it's 160 minus 120, which is 40 gram. What is the density? The density is the mass per unit volume. The mass is 40 gram, and the volume is 50 centimeter cube. So the answer is gram per centimeter cube. So it's 40 over 50 gram per centimeter cube. So the correct answer is A. I hope you understand this lesson. Thank you.